Ahoy, everyone. This is David Eugene Perry on behalf of the National Association of Corporate Directors, NorCal Division. And today we are delighted to be interviewing Beth Mora, board member on numerous public boards, discussing her life, her career, and what it means to be an out lesbian in the boardroom. Beth, welcome and thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you, David. Glad to be here.
So first of all, how did you balance telling boards and search firms about your LGBTQ status without coming on, well, how should we say it, too strong?
So a year ago, I attended an Out Leadership webinar online, and Matthew Fust, who I believe is in your network over there in Northern California, made the very astute suggestion to put some kind of symbol on social media, in my case, LinkedIn, to self-identify. So I put a rainbow flag. I did test it with a few people because I thought it was a risk, kind of. I tested it with a few people I really trust, and they said, go for it. So that certainly signaled to recruiters and search firms and other people who were looking on behalf of public companies that I indeed am an LGBT candidate.
So tell me, with that as background, how does being lesbian get addressed when you're in the boardroom or with other colleagues?
So I think my experience is the other women and underrepresented minorities in the boardroom, and there's not been a case where I've been the only woman or underrepresented minority. So the others who have been there for some time before me are open and inquisitive and have been able, at least one of them, to put me at ease so that the conversation flows during the dinners, during the small talk, during the time before the meeting. But it's also true, like everybody else, I'm more friendly with some than others, and that's where the conversation flows most easily. And, as one gets to know other people, it just gets easier over time.
Right, and we're in a period when still being out in the boardroom is considered quote unquote newsworthy. And as I say that as someone that's been in the PR business for so many years, I wonder when that will stop and it will just be who we are. But having said that as background, what has been the reaction to press releases or articles that talk about your LGBT status? What has been the reaction from colleagues and how have you reacted?
So as you know, David, with the California law and the new NASDAQ law, companies will be in a penalty situation if they do not put at least one woman and underrepresented minority on the board by a certain date. In fact, in California, the penalty is $300,000 per year. So in my case, I'm a 2-4, a woman and a lesbian. So as the companies have been preparing the press release in California, in my case, I have suggested to the CEO and the PR firm that they take advantage and put one sentence in that says, Beth resides in the Boston area with her wife, period. And they have said, yay, let's put it in. But it had to be my idea, not theirs, even though it sort of was theirs in the beginning. But the feedback has been overwhelming from employees, partners, subcontractors, contractors, auditors, vendors, suppliers, writing to me saying, yay, finally. It comes down to a message of inclusion where the company is willing to make a statement at the top. People see a road for themselves, and it's been very well received and celebrated.
And how does your out status as a member of the LGBT community get reflected in decisions actually that are made in the boardroom? And is there a trickle-down effect with colleagues, fellow employees, and even vendors?
I think it comes back to inclusion and diversity of thought, and I can bring a perspective that no one else there has, because of, I don't think anyone else is out there. So sometimes it's different, sometimes it's the same. And it's reaffirming in all cases just to have yet another vantage point reflected in the room. And, I think it just really goes back to inclusion, and just over and over again, as these companies are publishing the CSR reports and the ESG reports, to make sure that my demographic is reflected in those reports. To your point from at the beginning, at what point do we have to stop talking about it? I think it's going to be a while, but we're going to have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And finally, someone's going to say, all right, already, it doesn't matter.
Well, obviously, we're not there yet, but hopefully with the work that you do and the work done by the National Association of Corporate Directors, we will. In closing, is there anything that you would like to add, or something that I didn't ask you about that you would like to bring to our viewers?
I just would suggest to everyone, if you do have, if you are LGBT, if you are an underrepresented minority, put it in your profile through some symbol, because you need to identify as such to let people know who you are.
Great, thank you so much. We've been speaking with Beth Mora, who serves on numerous public boards and proudly an out member of the LGBTQ professional community. Beth, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, David, very much. Take care.